This is Buck Dharma from Blue Oyster Cult, and this is Heavy Demons radio show for you and me.
So, dear Buck, 50th anniversary live first night. What shall the fans expect from this monumental live experience?
It was a great 3 nights at Sony Hall in October of last year, and the the energy in the room was incredible, and I think the band really was inspired by our faithful crowd, and it was. I've heard most of the playback, and it's really good. It just makes me happy that we got those three early records down as a piece, and of course the additional tunes that we did too. It was a great night.
Yeah, and how was to rejoin with Albert Bouchard as a guest for all of the 3 nights you played at the Sony Hall in New York City?
Yeah, well, that was fun, and he was very enthusiastic. He added a lot of energy to the performance. Yeah.
How was, in your opinion, the response for The Symbol Remains from both the fans and the press, and what does this album represent in your career?
It's the critical reception was great, and the sales was great, considering we're not really we're pretty much under the pop radar. But yes, it's we're very happy and proud of that record, and it's sort of the capstone of our late period, I would think, because it was 20 years without a record, and we put a lot of effort into those 14 songs, and it came out great.
May I ask you if you are working on something new?
We're coming out on Frontiers with a record of what would you call sort of rarities, early demo recordings that were polished up and finished, many featuring the original 5 members of Blue Oyster Cult. So that's coming soon.
So are you happy with working with the Italian label Frontiers Records?
Yes, Frontiers has been great. They've been very supportive to us and enthusiastic, and we've appreciated that. Yes.
How was to record music and playing it live in the following decades? The 70s, the 80s, the 90s. And was, in your opinion, the new millennium like a game changer?
Well, the recording tools definitely has changed, the way we do things, and computers, and we're not even in the same room sometimes, especially the recording we did after the COVID lockdowns, we were not together at all. And we were talking to each other like you and I are talking to each other over Zoom and similar software. And so that is different, but I think that's way a lot of artists work now, and it's different, but it's the same also. I think it's just as good. It's there's something to be said recording like live to 2-track to stereo. That's basically what we did with the Sony Hall recordings. It just went down, and that's how it was. So it's all good. I like it.
Yeah, and did you find any differences between like the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s in terms of relating with the audiences and the press and stuff?
The audience gets younger, Yeah, because we have people of all ages. Some of our original fans, but I would say most of our fans are at least a generation or maybe 2 behind us in age.
What legacy do you think Blue Oyster Cult will leave to future generations of rockers? And what do you think about your impact in the hard and heavy scene over the last 5 decades?
Yeah, Blue Oyster Cult is unique. I don't think we sound like anybody else. And I think the history has been really good to our records and our live performances. I think we probably have more respect today than we did 20 years ago or 30 years ago. So, and I'm grateful that the recordings will persevere. They'll always be there. So even after I'm gone, people can listen, and if they like it, great. If they get some value from it, that's great.
Have you ever listened to the Swedish band Ghost? And if so, which are your impressions about them?
Yes, I'm familiar with Ghost, and I've heard the comparisons to Blue Oyster Cult, and I'd say to the degree that we influenced Ghost, that's to the good. You know, I'm not resentful at all. They're welcome to take whatever they want from our style and catalog, and certainly they stand alone as talented folks. And what's the name of the front guy? It's mainly his band.
Tobias Forge, yeah.
Yes, he's a very talented guy. Yeah, I think Ghost certainly stands alone. I mean, stands by itself. You know, they're not depending on anybody else for their success.
Yeah, I was very happy to hear on the live album for Frontiers record that you included "Dancing in the Ruins," which, in my opinion, influenced Ghost a lot. That song, especially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think Ghost is very melodic and very, very musical. You know, especially with harmonies and things like that. They're really good.
Have you got any Italy-related memories in your life, both musical and extra musical life?
Actually, my family and I were in Italy this summer. We were in Tuscany for a week, and then we were in Rome for 4 days, and we just really enjoyed ourselves. Got to see a lot of the world famous art and sculpture in Florence and Rome, and I was very impressed. And that's the first time I'd been to Italy as a tourist, not working. When you're working, you're just in and out, and you don't really have time to see the country. But we were there for 10 days, and can't wait to go back.
And do you find any differences between like the European audiences and the American ones?
No, I think Europe is the countries are still a little different. Like in America, every state now is the same. You know, in 40, 50 years ago, there used to be regional differences in America, but now they're pretty much gone. But Italy is still different than France and Germany, and we went to Slovenia, and that was different than Italy. You know, so it's nice to see a little cultural difference still, but we're all on the same planet. We have to share it. You know?
I guess you're always like busy recording music and playing it live, but when you're free, like in your house, free time, spare time, what kind of music do you like to listen to? I
like to hear something new. I am not a big fan of current pop music just because the style and the idiom of it doesn't really, I don't really relate to it. The auto-tune vocals don't ring well to my ear, you know, so it seems to be all over the place, that kind of stuff with pop music. But sometimes I like to hear no music. Sometimes I like to give my ears a rest.
Well, when you work on new music, how do you work? You do like demos, you record it with computer and multi-track
Yes,
programs?
Yeah, the computer is the new tape recorder. And, you know, back in the day it was a tape recorder, but now you just, if I get an idea, I'll just pick up my smartphone and, you know, sing into it or play my guitar into it, you know.
Yeah, and you have like an infinite number of tracks.
I don't overdub too much on the phone, although I could. Yeah. But usually it's just capturing, the germ of an idea, and then I'll go back and do it on my studio computer. Lately, when the band makes a record, the songs are pretty well demoed by the writer. You know, be it me or Eric or Richie Castellano, basically, and Danny Miranda. You know, we come in with pretty well formed demos.
A proper song, yeah.
Yeah, and then the band arranges it, and sometimes that changes. Sometimes it's improved and made a better fit for the musical talents of the band.
Have you got any ongoing projects apart from Blue Oyster Cult?
Yes, I've been working on a song for a couple of years now that will probably be out in in early 24.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I'm working on a video for it right now. But I don't want to say too much about it till
Yeah,
it comes. Yeah, but it's coming. There's going to be some coming. There's going to be a song coming from
yeah.
Buck. Yeah.
Have you got any memories you want to share about working with Sandy Perlman back in the days?
Yeah. Well, Sandy's the reason that I'm a professional musician and writer. Before I'd met Sandy, I was not thinking of doing music as a career. He sort of made the possibility real for me, because uh, he could get he had contacts with record companies, and he sort of like laid out the possibility of what we could do, and then because of that, me and the other original members of the Soft White Underbelly and what became Blue Oyster Cult could do it. We realized it, with his help. So yeah, so working with Sandy was also, before I'd met and worked with Sandy, I'd never really paid much attention to lyrics and songs. I just liked the music, I didn't really pay attention to what the singer was saying. And it was Sandy that got me focused on first listening to and then creating lyric myself.
Which suggestions would you give to a young rock band in this very difficult era? I mean, not to achieve success, but to enjoy making music.
Yeah, I would say yes. I'd say learn from artists that you like and respect, and then try to take your own path. Try to come up with something that people have not heard yet. Because if there's any way to get yourself in that door of professional labels and promotions and airplay and stuff like that, is to come up with something new, some just little twist on what's been done, so that you catch the listener's ear, with something new. You won't catch the listener's ear if you're just copying somebody else.
So, which final message and greeting would you send out to the Italian fans of Buck and Blue Oyster Cult?
Yeah, well, we're grateful for our Italian fans. I love the country and I love the people. We always have a really good time when we come there, and maybe we'll get back there again. Before we stop playing. Eric and I are getting old, but we still enjoy what we do, and as long as we can do it, we'll keep doing it.